안녕하세요. I'm An Cha-ki, your host for Let's Speak Korean. Now, 지승현 선생님, 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. 지승현입니다. Are you ready to learn some Korean? Well, 만나서 반갑습니다.
Now, in our last lesson, we learned some expressions to use when we are not feeling well. Let's get a quick review now. 어디가 아파요?
배가 아파요.
머리도 아파요?
네, 머리도 조금 아파요.
See. Now, we can use the expressions here to tell the pharmacist or the doctor where we're hurting when we need to get some form of treatment. Now, remember that the expression is the part of the body plus the subject particle 가 or 이 followed by 아파요. Right? Okay, of course, there are many different symptoms for different ailments. And so the pharmacist or the doctor will ask you to describe your state in more detail. Now, this is what we're going to learn to answer in this lesson. So the question will be, 어떻게 아파요? Right? Let's find out more from the clip.
어디가 아파요? 머리가 아파요. 어떻게 아파요? 열이 나요. 열도 있어요? 네, 열도 나요. 그리고 기침도 나요.
All right. In answer to the pharmacist's questions about what his symptoms are, Michael says that his head hurts. Right? He not only has a headache, but he's also running a fever and he is also coughing. Well, poor Michael. Now, why don't we get a check of the expressions one by one now? So we'll learn how to ask someone about their symptom. How does it hurt? 어떻게 아파요? And we'll also learn to answer the question by stating the symptom plus the expression 이 or 가 나요. Now let's begin by learning some new vocabulary that we'll need for those expressions. Please listen carefully to 선생님.
열, 열, 기침, 기침.
Very good. Now we'll take a look at the clip now to go over the expressions one by one.
어디가 아파요? 머리가 아파요. 어떻게 아파요?
Now, in our last lesson, the pharmacist asked Michael where he is hurting. Well, in this lesson, we go into a little more detail, and the pharmacist asks him how it hurts. Right? Okay, the first question asked where he felt the pain. Now, what was the expression in Korean?
어디가 아파요?
The pharmacist also asked how it hurts. Now, what is the expression in Korean?
어떻게 아파요?
Now, there is a slight difference between the first and the second question. Now, the first one is asking about the state of a person's health, while the second is asking about the specific symptom, that is, 어떻게 아파요? Right? The word 어떻게 means how. Now, why don't we repeat after 선생님 for some practice?
어디가 아파요? 어디가 아파요? 어떻게 아파요? 어떻게 아파요?
Now then, it's time to learn how to answer these questions. Let's go to the clip to find out how it's done.
어떻게 아파요? 열이 나요. 열도 있어요? 그리고 기침도 나요.
Now, when the question is 어떻게 아파요, You can answer it by describing the symptoms. Now, let's say that you have a fever. What should you say?
열이 나요.
Now, 열 is the word for fever. Now, this means that this is a symptom of an ailment, right? Now, in that sense, we have to add either the subject particle 이 or 가 to this word, and then follow that with the verb 나다, that is in the present tense, 나요, right? Okay, now, what if we say that we are coughing? How would we say this in Korean?
기침이 나요.
Now, the next time you go to a hospital or a pharmacy and someone asks you, 어떻게 아파요? You can answer them with the expressions that we have learned just now.
열이 나요. 기침이 나요.
Now, you can use some of the expressions that we have just learned to tell either a pharmacist or a doctor how you're feeling. Now, let's put in some practice. 어디가 아파요?
머리가 아파요.
어떻게 아파요?
열이 나요.
어떻게 아파요?
열도 나고 기침도 나요.
Time for some extra expressions. Now, there were some new words that we came across in this lesson. Now, the pharmacist asks, 열이 있어요? And the person answers, 열도 나요. 그리고 기침도 나요. Right? Remember that? Okay, the word 나요 means something exists or happens, and we can use this to describe the symptoms of a sickness. And 났어요 is, of course, the past tense of that verb, 나요. Now, please repeat after 선생님.
나요. 났어요. 나요. 났어요.
It's time to get a wrap-up of this lesson. Now, why don't we go over the expressions one by one along with the clip.
어디가 아파요?
어디가 아파요?
머리가 아파요.
머리가 아파요.
어떻게 아파요?
어떻게 아파요?
열이 나요.
열이 나요.
열도 있어요?
열도 있어요?
네, 열도 나요.
네, 열도 나요.
그리고 기침도 나요.
그리고 기침도 나요.
That was very good. Now, why don't we take another look at the entire clip from the beginning?
어디가 아파요? 머리가 아파요. 어떻게 아파요? 열이 나요. 열도 있어요? 네, 열도 나요. 그리고 기침도 나요.
section, we're going to learn to pronounce some double vowels. Okay, we have already learned that there are 10 basic vowels in the Korean language. Now, if you actually count the double vowel sounds, there are actually more than that. Now, as there are double consonants called 쌍자음, there are double vowels in the Korean language. Now, if we combine the vowels A and E together, we come up with a double vowel sound. It's the double vowel E. Let's try pronouncing it. E, E, E. Now, this sound is read as E, right? Now, what about some words that contain the double vowel E? Let's find out.
개미, 개미. 새우, 새우. 배, 배.
We've reached the end of this edition of Let's Speak Korean. Now, in this lesson, we learned some more useful expressions to use when we're not feeling well. Let's get a quick review now. 선생님, 어디가 아파요?
머리가 아파요.
어떻게 아파요?
열이 나요.
Okay, well, this is just for practice, right? I hope it's not for
Yeah,
real.
I'm really fine.
Okay, that's good. All right, well then, until next time, 안녕히 계세요.